No, I'm showing you today how to grade practice ACTs, enhanced ACTs with the online score tracker. I'll review three ways that you can grade those: OMRing scanned paper tests, manual entry of paper tests, and online answer sheets through the student portal, which is something the student would do themselves. To start, you log in as the admin into your online score tracker account. And first, you want to print bubble sheets. You can do print blank forms through the tools menu. We recommend that people use our preprint pre-fill feature. So you can do that through the users menu or through the classes menu. I'm going to show you through the users menu, the student menu here. So if we wanted to print bubble sheets, pre-filled bubble sheets for these three students, I'll select them. Then I will select one of the ACT 2025 is what we call the enhanced ACT. You probably want to rename that at some point. Here's also a special one for the J08. So you select that, you select an answer key, and test date, we'll say we'll do that on Saturday. And then it prepares the bubble sheets. You can download those and save them. And here's kind of what they look like. So in this case, there's it's still loading a little bit. Okay, now they're there. 3 pages, one for each student with the test ID and the student ID and a little bit of information pre-filled. And you can see this is the J08. Fewer questions and some of the answers don't alternate properly. Once a student has filled out the form, you've gotten them back, you now have two choices. One is to scan them, to scan the paper, and then to upload it as a PDF or TIFF. You can do that through the home screen. There's a button for it, and also on the tests menu, there's the same button. It reminds you of how you want to scan them, black and white, 200 dpi. We do not recommend that you scan with a smartphone. It does not produce reliable results. Okay, you select the ACT and then enter the test date. And let's say they did that on Sunday, this particular one. Now I've been asked to add the files, and so this is where I'm referencing the scanned file that I scanned with my document scanner. You can add multiple files, so you don't have to just do one at a time. We don't recommend that you upload huge files, but ideally select 10, 20, whatever individual files, individual pages that you upload, and then they would just be listed here. Once it's done, you can review it. In this case, there's a red triangle indicating there's something wrong here. So you click on that entry, and yep, there was no test ID, no student ID. So I'm going to add a test ID of 6, and student ID is 47. Now I can submit all of this, and submitting it kicks it from BubbleScan Web over to Online Score Tracker, where it's our grading platform. Under tests, we will now see here this test that I just submitted, and the student report is available for printing. Okay, so that's how that one worked. If you're just doing one at a time, maybe scanning and all that is more than you want to deal with, you can just enter it manually. Just click the button, add test manually, select the ACT 2025, select the test date, and let's go with the 5th on this one. Select one of the answer keys. We're going to choose a different test this time. And we're assigning it to the same student. And now I can enter the answers, the student's responses. As you can see, the cursor immediately moves forward to the next field. So it's very fast, actually, to enter. You don't have to worry about uppercase or lowercase, and it's right there. So here's the one that we just entered manually. Okay. Now, third option is if you let the student do the entering into an online answer sheet. So not a paper, but a digital copy of a bubble sheet, basically. I can do that again for an entire class or for individual users. I first need to assign this test to the user, to the student. So if I want to assign to student 47 an ACT test, I would click on the online tests for them. Then one is already assigned to them. I'll add another one. Click on the add button. And that brings up a list of lots of tests that we have available in our system. In this case, we'll scroll to the ACT, the bottom, and we'll select maybe this one here as a test that we can assign to the student. So you can have multiples assigned, right? Once it's assigned, I can click on the title again, and I can take this. I can add a subtitle. A subtitle is just a field for maybe a little extra instruction, something like take by 1/8/2026. You can change the times if they need have some special accommodations. You can change how the timer is used. Should there be a timer at all? Should the timer just run and lock the answer sheet? Should it lock it automatically? You'll in advance to the next one. So you have some options there for how you want to do that. Again, if you do that on the class level, then it applies to the entire class, all the students in the class. Once it's assigned, the student can now log in. And so I'm logging in now as the student using the same panel, but with their information. They would go to take a test, and now they can see, the two tests that I have assigned. This is the one I just assigned to them, take by 1/8 with a subtitle. My student clicks it, has the option to enter it through the keyboard by punching in the letters or using the radio buttons. I'm just going to show you with the radio buttons. Let's go with the math section. Again, this depends on how you have it assigned. It could also be assigned, start with the English and proceed through it all, or it can be like this where you do it by section, and then you can take one section today and another section tomorrow. So anyway, when the student has that selected, you can see now in this particular instance, this section is now locked. The student cannot go back in and edit anything. If the student goes to their scores menu, and they'll see this new test here, and this one hasn't been graded yet, so it doesn't quite show up. That's something that can happen. We don't immediately grade it because it stresses the system too much. You may have to wait a few minutes. Okay, so now the test is graded. As you can see, we only did the math section. That's another benefit of doing it through the online answer sheet. You can actually assign it by section, and it grades it by section. So the student could go back at any time now and take another section, and it would just add it to the existing report. Here's the report for the student. Incidentally, the asterisk here indicate these are field questions. Okay, and they're not used for actually grading.